Welcome to this very special edition of the KJ Masterclass Live, the show which ensures that you profit from your time spent here with experts, either through their industry insights, information, or simply learning from them. And today we have Andrea Ramírez. She is a hypnotherapist, channeler, spiritual coach, co-founder of magicalaudios.com. It's an app to help women all over the world improve their mental, emotional, and physical health. Welcome to the show, Andrea.
Hi, AJ. So many thanks for having me.
You're welcome. Welcome to the show. Welcome to India in this online form. And I'm sure not just in India, but a lot of people across the globe will benefit from what we are going to talk right now. We'll talk about how one can harness their subconscious mind for business success. In this backdrop, we'll have our conversation, Andrea. But before that, let's understand a bit about your journey, your background, so that or the audience knows who they are listening to, can learn from your journey itself.
Well, I'm originally from Chile. I moved to Spain about 20 years ago, and I'm currently working between Portugal and Spain. I am a hypnotherapist, so I work with the power of subconscious to heal people and to boost people towards their goals. I'm also a channeler, which is a way of mediumship. To connect to a higher wisdom that we all have when we need guidance. And I'm a spiritual coach. I use different tools like energy healing and tarot for personal evolution, using this abstract language to help people understand in a more conscious way what's happening in the subconscious in order to redirect them to the goals that they wish to achieve in life. And in 2018, I had a very bad year. I got very, very sick. I was about to die when I was checked into the ER. I was misdiagnosed for most of the time. During that time, I am still a successful entrepreneur. I have a business in Barcelona besides the one with hypnotherapy and entrepreneurship. And at that point, my body just gave up. I was burnt out. And although I've had these spiritual gifts from before, the months I spent in the hospital gave me a lot of time to look into what was happening in my life that made my body give up and say no. And this is when I discovered Dr. Gabor Mate. He is a doctor that specializes in trauma. And it sent me into a rabbit hole to learn more about our subconscious mind and how it works, and how the experiences we have had since we were children actually shape our everyday life, and how they could be a hindrance or they could help us to achieve our goals, whatever they are, in our present and in our future. And thanks to him, I continue to learn more and more and more about this, with the big culmination being me studying and starting my own hypnotherapy practice with my own techniques and my own way of connecting spirituality with the practical entrepreneurial world, helping people to actually get to their goals and not die trying.
Right, Andrea. Now, you talk about subconscious and its impact on our reality and business. Now, the way humans have been designed is that we have got the consciousness, and then there is the subconscious.
Mm-hmm.
Each of these things, their role is very defined. So when we talk of the role of the subconscious, should we leave consciousness behind and put subconscious in the forefront and let it make decisions for us? Will that be a pragmatic approach for us humans, Andrea? Help us understand this part. Or if not correct, then how should we use the subconscious to the best of our effect so that our life becomes blissful?
Mm-hmm. So if you think about it, over our day being 100%, right? We function with our subconscious mind in probably between 95 to 97%. That's a lot. So the example is, for example, when you go and take a shower, have you noticed that you always start washing your body from the same side? Or when you put on the shoes, have you noticed that you always put the same shoe at the first time? And so this is a subconscious choice. This is something that we did once. It was convenient. It worked for us. So our subconscious says, okay, I will keep it. It saves me time. My conscious mind doesn't have to be thinking, okay, so now I'm going to go in the shower. Okay, wait a minute. So I should grab the soap. Okay, what am I going to wash first? Which finger, which hand, which arm first? So we don't have to make these decisions all the time. Or when we wake up, we just get up, we put our feet on the floor, we start walking. We're not thinking, okay, so what am I going to do now? I have to get off the bed. Which foot am I going to put on the floor first? Okay, now I have to step. Which step is going to be first? The right or the left one? So those are subconscious programming, something that consciously we kind of learned at one point and we continue to apply during our day in our everyday life. So conscious and subconscious is teamwork, but we cannot underestimate that subconscious is very much everything that we do during the day. Our conscious mind is important because it is the one that helps us to filter in a consciousness, in a more awakened consciousness, what's happening in the world, what's happening with our circumstances. So we can think, we can learn things, we can educate ourselves, like the people watching now the podcast. But our subconscious mind, once we have learned that something and we interiorize it, it's applied into our motherboard, because that's what the subconscious is if you think about it. And then from that motherboard, these programs and these apps that we have learned and pick up in our life apply to everything we do. So we could say, okay, let's just work with subconscious mind. But here is the trick. Our subconscious mind is like a recorder. It's constantly recording from the moment we were born, even when we were in our mom's belly. So everything that she might have experienced that was traumatic while she was pregnant from us, everything that we might have experienced growing up is there. And sometimes that trauma or that experience, it doesn't need to be necessarily traumatic, could affect the way we consciously move in the world. But our subconscious mind is abstract. It doesn't have any sense of what's common or common sense or what is supposed to be real or that makes sense in our life. So for example, if a person has anxiety and doesn't want to attend a meeting, or a child has anxiety and doesn't want to go to school and gets a panic attack, we think, oh, that's very bad. But the subconscious thinks, well, my job is done. I am protecting this person so this person doesn't have to go and do that thing they don't like that will make them feel very anxious. So in this sense, when we work with subconscious, we have to tell, okay, subconscious, thank you very much for protecting us, because that is the number one job of our subconscious in our life, protecting us. But we say, subconscious, could you please do the same, protecting me, but without that behavior that is hindering my life, my lifestyle, because it doesn't feel good to have a panic attack. And so maybe subconscious will think, okay, I will look for something else. And this is how hypnotherapy works. We have a conversation with subconscious, which is kind of aching to a divine mind that we're connected with. And from then, we just let the subconscious find the best solution that will be good for us and for our quality of life. So it's okay to work in our subconscious mind, but we need the conscious mind to actually say, okay, this feeling that I'm feeling, why am I feeling this? Is this good for me? Is this not good for me? Is this going to help me in this meeting that I'm going to? Am I acting or am I reacting? Because when we react, this is the subconscious thing. It's like a knee-jerk kind of reaction and thing. And this is when we know it's subconscious, because it has no logic. Sometimes we're talking to somebody and we are triggered. And we're like, but why am I being triggered by this person or situation? And then it's simply because maybe something happened a long time ago that this person reminds you of that situation that wasn't pleasant, and you are just reacting towards this person maybe without even knowing it. And so our subconscious once we work with it, once we have this conversation, once we allow it to find more positive outcomes for us, to work through our consciousness, this is when we can literally clear our path of the blocks that we have been putting in our subconscious to protect us. And instead of being blocks that do not allow us to continue to move forward and achieve our goals, they become stepping stones. So they take us higher and further.
Right, right. Thank you for that, Andrea. Now, how do we use the subconscious for business? Business is much more cutthroat. You have competition and you have got so many other things to look at. So shouldn't be you be in full consciousness, look at the data. How do we bring subconscious into it?
In our subconscious are all the feelings and experience we have had since we were very young. So sometimes we think that the things that really mark our behavior and the way we think and the way we move in the business world is actual experience and education, which is good. It's all good. You can be successful without having much of an experience of being in touch with your subconscious. But here is the catch. You might get sick, like what happened to me. I burned down. I was completely burnt out. Why? Because I was working through my mind absolutely every issue that came into my company, through my employees, through my providers, through my clients. And I did not have the emotional landscape to deal with the situations. I was dealing with everything in a very, very mind setting, like metallic way almost. It felt almost like very rigid. So when we work with our subconscious, what we're doing is we are preparing the landscape. So everything and anything that might have happened while we were growing up, while we were studying, our first experiences with the world, maybe the first job that you ever had, somebody told you, you will never make it. You will never amount to anything. You could say, okay, I don't believe you with my conscious mind, and I'm going to work very hard with my conscious mind, and I'm going to prove everyone that I can do it. And so you go and you do it and you work really hard, and then your body at some point says, I can't, and gets sick. That's because in our subconscious level, what we're doing is we're not working with what is actually happening there, which is this mini kind of trauma of that person that says you're not worth it. And we have a self-value problem. The more you work with your self-value, with your motivations, with what moves you in the world, the more you learn your ego, the more you learn about those parts of you that are kind of dark and not very nice to look at, the more you work with them, the more successful you will become in your business. Because when somebody comes at you with a different intention than something positive, or when somebody comes to you with a proposition in your business that you are not sure if this person is being 100% correct or not, because you have worked with your shadow, or that's how our dark part is called, you already can kind of see through them. It's like you get these X-ray eyes and you can see the intentions, feel the intentions, and that's when your subconscious will protect you when somebody tries to come and take advantage of you, or somebody is coming to you with an intention that is not really straightforward.
Right, right, Andrea. Let's talk about then the channeling part. You are a channeler, and so what is this channeling all about? How does a common person understand about channeling?
Channeling, it's the feeling of channeling is the same like when an artist is feeling the art inside them before they put it out in the world. Like a painter, an artist, they have this image and they kind of channel it from the universe through them and put it into the canvas. Or a musician, the same thing. They hear the songs in their soul and they channel it from the universe and put it through their instruments. So channeling is something that we all have, but not all of us don't have it 100% developed. So channeling is really a state in which you connect with a higher mind or with spirit or with source or with God. And through that interaction, you can bring down information that it's connected to a much higher wisdom than our conscious mind or our subconscious mind. And then you can bring guidance that is very highly spiritual, but at the same time is very practical, and it's very loving, and it's very compassionate to help you when you are in doubt, when you cannot see the next step, or simply when you wish to be grateful about life. That's what I like to do. I like to go into channel, connect with source, and just give thanks, because source and the universe, they're so wise. The more you're grateful for, the more they will give you to be grateful for. So gratitude is also a number one thing if you wish to become affluent, if you wish to become prosperous.
Right, right. We seem to have many hotlines to the all powerful that has created us, channeling and unconscious mind, subconscious mind, all these. Which is more powerful? Is channeling helping us in terms of conscious mind, subconscious mind, or is it a different thing altogether? What's his role basically?
The role of channeling is to bring a higher wisdom kind of message that is processed through the conscious mind for the listener, for the person that is, let's say, consulting with me. So while I'm channeling, I'm simply being that, like a cable through which information goes through. This very abstract and higher information goes through, and it's explained in simple terms and in applicable terms to the person in front of me so they can consciously understand it. When we work with the subconscious mind via hypnotherapy, for example, we are dealing with the subconscious mind of the person that is with me. Now, our subconscious mind, it's almost like a mini divine mind from the universe, because we are children of the creator. So we are also part of the creator. And that part of the creator that is very smart and very powerful that I channel also lives within us, and it's our subconscious. And when we work with it with the person, working with the person's subconscious, we can help the person to kind of clear their inner home, rearrange the furniture inside their inner world, so everything can move smoother and easier, and life will be friendlier.
Right, right, Andrea. Now, in terms of clients, let's understand this better. In terms of your clients, who are the type of clients that come to you, and what is it that they want from you?
Mostly the clients I have are entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, and people that are creating their own startups, people that are already in successful companies, mostly founders. And they come to me because they realize that there is an aspect to success that has to do very much on how they are in their inner world, how they're feeling, what their beliefs are, what their concepts are. And many of them realize that what they believe or thought it was real or true or applicable in their business does not resonate with them, because it's something that has been acquired through education, through somebody that gave them an observation or an advice, but it's not really them. And when we are not true to ourselves and we have a business, that business will never work. We will always find blockages, because it's like life is putting this block in front of us saying, first you have to work on that if you want to go on to the next level, kind of like a video game. So they come to me, we work on these beliefs, where do they come from? And most of the time, it's not even necessary to relieve traumas or have complicated conversations that could be embarrassing or difficult, because when we work with this through hypnotherapy, the subconscious knows everything and does all the work. I only have to direct it, help it to find a way. It will find the best, most perfect way for you. And in this way, we will change the mindset, we will change the energy overall, and we will change the capacity for their subconscious mind to look at opportunities, to see opportunities, and to be more creative, to know what to do when the opportunity is there in order to succeed.
Right, right. What about the DeMartini method? How do you use it? What is this method? Tell us a bit about it.
I knew about the DeMartini method very early on, about 20 years ago, and it literally changed my life. Dr. DeMartini, he is an anthropologist. He is an eminence in the world. He has studied and continues to study a lot, and he created something called the breakthrough experience, which is a 3-day, two-day experience. And it's very much, I think it works very much with people that tend to process everything that happens to them through their minds, that don't go down into the feeling because maybe there is hurt, maybe there is pain. So he works with this breakthrough experience through the mind to connect with the heart and to create immediate change in your life. And it's a very powerful method that when you have your own business, it's continually asking you, what is your mission and your vision, not only in your life, but in your business? And then you bring that idea that's in the mind. Okay, I just want to sell cars because I want to have money, and change it and transform it in, for example, I'm selling cars because I wish people to have a safe mean of transportation that they will feel powerful and proud about. And so it's not only just about the mind, it's also about the heart, and how these two working together are 1,000 times more powerful than if we just go from here.
Absolutely, absolutely. There is much to learn from you, Andrea, about all these things, and I'm sure a lot of people would want to learn from you about all this. Take your coaching. So, what is the best way for them to connect with you?
The best way to connect, it could be if they go to Instagram, if they have Instagram and they go to Fortuna Living Spirit all together, or my website, andreahypno.com.
Wonderful. With this, it's a wrap on this very special edition of the KJ Masterclass Live. Thank you so much indeed for
Thank you,
joining us.
AJ.